love Jesus, sticker on the bumper.
Hey, welcome back, Doug Pagitt Radio on AM 950 and DougPagittRadio.com. And if you're plugging in over there, we got some new features going over at the Doug Pagitt Radio live video feed. You can also watch the videos of these as well as pick up the podcast over there at DougPagittRadio.com. But you can watch old archive videos on YouTube and on Ustream. But anyway, we've got different video feeds going on. So if you want to see pictures of that Carrie Underwood, or Carrie, there it is again, Carrie Newcomer, who was just talking. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Carrie Newcomer. She must have been bummed out when that Carrie Underwood won that competition. But this is a little segment of the show that we call Cripes. Come on, you got to be kidding me. And in future weeks, I might have some special video footage for the Cripes that come on. You got to be kidding me. So here we do. We talk about things in the world that just aren't the way they're supposed to be. Some things that make us say to this world, Cripes, and come on, and you got to be kidding me. Because there's parts of this world that are not the way they're supposed to be, and we have decisions to make in this world that we live in. Do we want to live with a world satisfied that it's full of Cripes and come on, you got to be kidding me? Or do we want a world that's made up of the things that are right, that are good, that are right on? So our right on this morning is going to be a new friend of mine named Kimberly Knight. It's fantastic. But right now, the Cripes that come on, you got to be kidding me. Here's my Cripes for today. Last night after we went and saw a movie, we went over to the Cheesecake Factory. We were going to get a little dessert, but of course it was too busy, 8:30 at night on a Friday. You know, lots of people have social lives, come to find out. Well, so they're all busy out there. And so I went in to use the facilities, and then I was washing my hands, as I think one should do after using public restrooms. I'll just put that out there. I think you should wash your hands. So I go over to wash my hands, and it's one of those faucets that has a little magic eye on it that turns on when your hands are under there, right? I mean, that's a great idea. You don't have to touch things. You still have to touch, so many other things in the bathroom. Why the handles are something you can't touch. But anyway, so I put my hands under there, and the water turns on. But my hands are up so high to make the water turn on, up close to the faucet so the little magic eye can see my hand, that when the water comes out of the faucet, it hits my hands and sprays all over the place, including on me, and all of making the bathroom, all Dane Cook wet, The entire bathroom's wet and sloppy in there. Then when I pull my hands down so they're not splattering all over, well, the magic eye doesn't see my hands anymore, so it shuts off. So now I got sudsies. Then I pull my hands up, and the water starts spraying all over me, so now I have a choice to make. I can either wash my hands clean and get myself all wet and splatter the whole bathroom, or pull them down. So I'm standing there, and I look over at the guy next to me, who's washing his hands in the sink, the employee, who have to wash their hands. The sign even says so. I look at him, and I go, yeah, Cripes. He goes, yeah. Huh. So my Cripes yesterday, the faucet at the Cheesecake Factory, and all these other magic motion faucets. I didn't want to talk about how when you put your hands in that hand dryer, the Dyson, blade hand dryers, how loud that is. It's so loud it hurts my ears, but I can't plug my ears because I got my hands in the hand dryer. Public restrooms, man.
We got to get that rim shot for you.
I'm telling you, it's killing me. All right, so the come on. I do a Cripes and a come on. Well, first of all, I got to say that I watched this movie last night, and they had an actor in it. He's a rapper, apparently. He has his own movie coming out. His name, Common. These rappers, they get these one-word names like Will I Am, and I don't know whoever else. Who else? You probably know the rapper community more than I do. His name is Common. I pronounced it come on, and then realized, no, that's my rapper name. My rap name, come on. C''MON.
Again, we got to get you there.
I'm gonna start going by come on, so you can call me that. If he gets to go by it, I get to go by it. But anyway, here's the come on for today. Came out of the newspaper yesterday. They have in the what section was this out of? I have the newspaper hand delivered to my house every day. Out of the variety section, there's a little write-in tidbit from an animal doctor. Here's the headline, which made me say, "Come on!" Headline: Poop-eating pooch needs a bit less yeast. A poop-eating pooch needs a bit less yeast. I got to read that. That's classic right there. So here it is. Dr. Fox. This is like one of those writing, get advice. Dr. Fox, several months ago, a pet owner asked about ways to stop a dog from eating his own feces. Your advice was to try several safe supplements, including brewer's yeast. Well, my 40-pound terrier mix eats her feces, which makes me just say to people who own animals like this in their house, come on. Get a dog that lives in your house, 40-pound dog eating its own feces? Come on. So I tried to give her 1 teaspoon of brewer's yeast each day. Well, this appeared to reduce her interest in eating her own feces. However, after 4 weeks, she suddenly became ill, vomiting her meals, acting lethargic, and battling severe diarrhea for weeks. Come on.
Too much yeast?
Come on. What are you doing with these things living in your house? Eating their own poop, and then, you know what I'm saying. Well, she didn't lose her appetite, so I fed her regular food mixture, brown rice without the yeast, and the diarrhea disappeared and then returned to her normal self, including trying to eat her own feces. Was this an allergic reaction? The yeast was the only difference in her diet. So the doctor says, hey, thanks for confirming one of the several methods for stopping dogs from eating their own stools. I mean, this is unbelievable in the paper. That's
really a terrible thing.
Then he goes on and says, with your dog, I suspect an allergic reaction to brewer's yeast that could have contained gluten or other potential allergenic ingredients. So I use a gluten-free brewer's yeast. So the guy gives advice and doesn't tell him. Try the gluten-free kind so your dog doesn't have diarrhea and vomiting all over. And I'm like, come on. Come on, fella. That is unbelievable. What kind of a pet advice doctor gives advice to these people and doesn't say, oh, by the way, you might want to try the gluten-free kind because dogs are often allergic to that kind of gluten.
You're fired.
And then the guy puts it in there as his own article. All right. So things that make you say cripes, things that make you say, come on. And then sometimes there's things that make you say, you got to be kidding me. Now, this one's a little more serious from my vantage point. Tom Petters, you know that guy? Tom Petters, the financial guy, with all of his financial shenaniganing, all of his tomfoolery. Well, Batman's got something to say about this guy. Play a little.
A wave of financial tomfoolery has been unleashed upon us. But fear not. These corporate mischief makers will meet their match.
Yeah, so this corporate mischief makers. Okay, so I get it. Tom Petters, Denny Hecker, all of them. Tomfoolery, big trouble. 50 years in prison? Here's what gets me about that. You read these other articles in the paper?
Happy trails
Pope
to you.
put off punishing clergy sex abuse guys. Officials knew about sex abuse crimes of a guy who worked for the Minneapolis Park and Rec Department. Unbelievable. These people, I get the fact that you want to send somebody to prison for robbing us, for stealing from us, for ripping people off when it comes to their investments. 50 years. These guys who are pedophiles and assault these kids, they don't go to jail for 50 years.
They're part of the big hat gang.
You got to be kidding me. The fact that we punish people more severely for financial impropriety than for abusing kids, you got to be kidding me. Lawmakers in this state, look, let's figure out some way to send some proper priorities. I don't want people running Ponzi schemes, but that's not as bad as people assaulting one another. This guy who beat the Edina resident, the guy who was staying in the motel downtown, in the hotel downtown, he gets beat on the street. If that guy gets 50 years, I'll buy you breakfast, Grover. I don't think that guy who beat and killed somebody on the street in a drunken rage is going to get 50 years. And we give 50 years to somebody who runs a financial scam. Because you know what it says about the society? You know what it says about the way our laws are based? Money is more important, and we want to punish people worse for stealing money from the financial system than for people who hurt kids. You got to be kidding me. For people that abuse somebody else. I mean, cripes, come on. Gets me fired up, Grover. I mean, it just makes my head want to explode. So every time I see that, and then Denny Hecker's girlfriend, who was involved in some sort of shenanigans and tomfoolery, you know what she's going to get? 20 years.
Good 20, for her. Yeah, 20 years for also being a bad dresser because she had her skirt on backwards.
All right. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Right, I get it. You want to punish these people? It's disproportionate compared to how we punish people who hurt children. Unbelievable.
We got to crack into that big hat gang, I'm telling you.
It's just ridiculous. So we got choices to make in this world. Do we want faucets that splatter water all over the place? Do we want dogs eating poop? No. But even more than that, you got to be kidding me. Disproportionate amount of punishment for one crime and not enough for another. Some things aren't right in this world. That's why we need all of us to chip in, make things the way we want them. Doug Pagitt Radio, religious radio. It's not quite right on AM 950. Back after the break.